Alright, so I'm going to do a video on the bench press. I've been meaning to make this video, or make this blog post and put on my blog, Deadlift Nerd. But the thing is, like, I just never have the time to sit in front of the computer to write it out, and making videos is just so much more easier. But this is sort of a new bench press goal of mine, or a goal that I will be working on later. Not right away, but it's just kind of a different way of looking at kind of building strength. And that is the NFL Combine test. The most reps you can do with 225 pounds. This was brought to my attention on Mark Bell's Powercast with Mike Wenning. Really cool dude. I mean, I'll put a link in the description for the podcast. But then the part where he talks about this particular test, the Combine 225 rep test, is I think the 36-minute mark. It starts around there, and the reason why I'm really interested in this is because I just have trouble getting over 300 pounds. Like, if you were to ask me what's the probability that you can hit a 300-pound bench, Ryan, it's probably around a range of about even a touch and go 300-pound bench. Right now I know I couldn't hit it, but then even when I'm very strong, or my strongest, when I did my bench press, my powerlifting meet back in February, I can probably hit 300 pounds with I don't know, like probably 80% chance success rate, maybe almost 85%. That's kind of what it feels like to me, at least. So anyways, he talks about kind of like, how can you get the most reps at 225? And the thing that makes this so interesting for me is that I've gotten to a point when I was training end of last year where 225 pounds, I can rep out 8 to almost, I think the best I've ever gotten was like 11 reps. It's not like I was going for a max either. I just kind of kept going and trying to keep one in the tank sort of effect. And it was pretty cool. It was amazing how, like, after about basically benching every single day, got me to a point where 225 pounds did feel light. So anyways, my point is that, one way to build strength is through repetitions. It's not always the best way to build maximal strength, but it's definitely a way to do it. And it makes it so that you don't necessarily have to always have a spotter, and it makes it so that you can get more work volume in. And I like the idea of doing repetitions when it comes to bench, because you get more practice in. But the main thing is that if you want to be able to hit 37 repetitions with 225, you basically have to have a 500-pound bench. So that's kind of what the rules are, or how it works. Wenning was talking about how a lot of the NFL, the ones that do really well in the NFL Combine test, are benching well over 500 pounds. And there's definitely a good correlation. I made a previous video about how some people's, reverse one rep max calculator, like if you do 37 reps or 40 reps of a certain weight, it kind of tells you your predicted 1 rep max. If you do 3 reps of a certain weight, it gives you a predicted max. If you've ever done Wendler 531, I think they use like 0.03 or 0.33 times the number of reps times the weight. Basically, it just means that, I forgot what the exact numbers are, but just to kind of give you an idea, whatever you can do 2 or 3 reps of, you typically can do roughly 5 to 7% more, and that would be your 1 rep max. Typically, it just kind of depends on what calculations you go by. Not always accurate, but this is kind of a way that I'm going to start training in the future pretty soon here, because because 2 plates, I mean, it's not a lot of weight, but if you can do it like 20 times, I mean, that just seems fucking crazy. I mean, I really think I can get to a point where I can get 18 reps, maybe even 15 reps. I can build myself up. I can really see that happening. And again, like, whatever you believe, you're going to be able to do. So, 20 reps sounds impossible, but that would be a pretty fucking cool goal, and I'm going to definitely shoot for that. And the way you need to do it is you need to focus on really building your anaerobic work capacity. Because the one thing is that the people that do the best, this is what Wenning said, is that the people that did the best is that they were able to sustain a really high work capacity of maximal exertion within 45 seconds. And I think it's probably going to be a lot less. Essentially, you have to become very, very fast out the gate. And if you're not fast out the gate, you're pretty much dead in the water. And the second step, too, is that if the 225 feels heavy in your hands, you're dead. You're not going to be able to do it. It has to feel light. In order to make 225 pounds feel light, you're going to have to be really, really strong. Duh, makes sense. And some people will say, well, you can just move your max up, and if you have any experience trying to move your bench press, and depending on what kind of lifter you are, that shit is fucking hard. I mean, for me, my bench press has always been stuck around 265 to, recently I got to 300, but 305 was like the best I've done probably end of last year, and in competition with a pause 297. I guess you could say a pause of 297 can easily be worth like maybe 315 touch and go, but I've never done a 315 touch and go. I did, but with a slingshot. But this is kind of just a cool way to kind of work on your max, getting reps in, lots of reps in. And why I think reps is sort of the way to go is, number one, it's safer. But number two, it just gets you more practice and more volume in. And the thing is just picking the right amount of weight to do. And when I say the right amount of weight, that means picking a weight where you can do at least 4 or 5 reps. There's a lot of different training methodologies out there, but this is just kind of one way of kind of looking at improving your bench press max. And everything has a specific purpose. This doesn't necessarily directly correlate to pure competition lifting. Like, this is not something you would try to train right before comp, but this is definitely something to do in the strength building phase. That's my video for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment and we can talk about it. The bench press is one of my most lagging lifts, and I love it and I hate it at the same time.